The Magpies headed into the AFL National Draft hoping to trade up the order, but ended up taking their pick, which, funnily enough, was a slider in Ed Allen coming out of Claremont in Western Australia. One of the bolters of the draft. He shot up to potential top 10, but ended up being there at pick 19. Michael, what did you make of the selection?
Yeah, nice one. I mean, ironically, the bolter that ended up a slider and was potentially going to be taken within the top 10 by a club like Geelong or West Coast, but he ends up at Collingwood, and he's a really versatile type, so you can pretty much mould him into anything you want. And that could be something different throughout his career at AFL level, and hopefully it's a long one for Pies fans, but probably going to play on either side of midfield, you'd think. Could develop behind the ball. He's just got a great athletic profile and AFL attributes to last.
He's very similar to maybe a smaller Nick Cox in the sense that players of that size shouldn't be able to move the way he moves, and I think that's what really attracted to him.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys get, I guess, the secondary unicorn, then you'd be pretty happy. But yeah, you're right. He's about 195 centimetres and just moves so well for a player his size.
Yeah, and the next selection after that was Jacob Ryan, a defender out of Glenelg, obviously best known for that mullet, but he moves really well out of the back half, but he can play other positions.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the studs in his ears and the look, the mullet, compared to Bailey Smith already, so he's going to be a popular sort of player on and off the field, but definitely his athleticism, again, his versatility to play all three lines is really, I guess, why he was in contention for the first round, and Collingwood was, I guess, poised as one who were going to take him pretty early, so they'd be pretty rapt to get him at pick 28.
Yeah, and initially they did have pick 30, which was going to be another selection not long after, but they decided to drop it down the order. That was the pick that went for Lockie Cowan to Carlton. They ended up using their pick 48, which was on Joe Richards, a midfielder out of Wangaratta Magpies. Now he's a known goal kicker and obviously played alongside Ben Reid. So the only player outside of the traditional pathways, if you like, to get picked up. Yeah, really interesting one.
It is, isn't it? I mean, he was another one who's pegged as potentially going earlier. They've got three players at good value selections, I feel, and Joe Richards, caps that off. So as you mentioned, out of local footy, essentially. The scouts, they're everywhere, and if the talent's there, they'll find you. So he's got a bit of speed, and I think the Magpies have him potentially off half-back as that sort of small running type to free up Nick Dacos to run through midfield, who, of course, has impressed in his first year and even on the first few days back of pre-season. So exciting times ahead for the Pies.
I knew we wouldn't get through a podcast without you mentioning Nick Dacos. So
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, that's all right. Of course, being a 22-year-old, he's someone who you'd expect to have a lot of elite traits, given that he's playing at local footy. So we'll see how that adapts to the AFL level, but we know that he's certainly used to senior bodies, so that'll be an exciting time for Pies fans.